Hi there, it's Suze here, and today I'm going to do a little tutorial for you on how to make these cute little contemporary Christmas cards. Very simple and a really lovely way of using up your scraps. Got a few examples here, some with and without ribbon, with the different background papers, different coloured stars, and various ways of decorating the tree. Here I did some stitching. This was with a gold pen. And this was just with some gems and some stickles. So let's get started. I used these cards as my base, which are from Hobbycraft, A6, and they are a hammered card. So nice heavyweight card. Start off folding that. I'm using A6 papers, which were originally from Craftwork Cards. I've had these for quite a long time now. I think Craftwork Cards is just starting up again, but I don't know if they'll be doing this particular set of papers. Took a sheet and I'm going to use this one, cut that in half. So I'll start off by gluing that down. I tend to use a tape runner and a glue stick when I'm teaching. And the reason I'm doing this today is because I've just been teaching this in class and it went really well. The girls loved it. So I thought I would, while I had everything ready, I would do a quick video tutorial. So I use the edge to line up because with these being cut papers, I know that's a pretty straight edge. And then I just take my scissors, open up the card and snip along the edge. And then I use those scraps for other things. So that's the first layer. Then I've taken another piece of card. As I say, you can use up all your scraps with this. And I really like torn edges. So as you can see on here, I've just taken the same piece of card and torn all the edges. And you can do that if you want to, or for speed, you can just rough up the edges with a pair of scissors. Or if you've got, I do have a Tim Holtz distress tool, which I really love. Haven't got that to hand at the minute, so I'm just going to use this. You can ink up the edges if you want to, if you want it to stand out a bit more. That can be a nice thing to do. But for speed, I'm not going to bother. Put that in the middle. I really enjoy working with fabrics at the moment, so they are kind of popping up into quite a lot of my classes and samples. And this is, I've got a huge roll of this stuff. I've had it for absolutely years, so it's really nice to be able to use it. So I've literally just torn it, pulled a bit, and I'm going to just stick some at the top. Again, I'm just putting a little bit of my tape runner down. No messing. It didn't actually work. Yes, it did. Excuse me. And a little bit at the bottom as well. You can trim it and shape it if you want to. If it's a little bit unruly. Then I've got this Hessian. I've had this for a long time as well, and it's one of those things that I love it so much I didn't want to use it, and I've stopped that attitude now. If I've got it, it's being used. What's the point in having it if I'm not going to use it? So just fray that a little bit. That's going to go across the middle. Pop a bit of glue down there to stick that bit better. I'll be using wet glue on top of this, so that will seal all of these layers. So anything that looks a bit unsecure at the moment, it won't be by the time I've finished. Okay, now I've got some of those down, I'm going to use some wet glue. And for that, I've got Cosmic Shimmer. So I'll just pop a bit of that down. And then I'm going to be using a little bit of this. I love this stuff. It's just, I think they call it cheesecloth, but it's I think it's an old bandage I found. So I'm just going to chop that. I'm not measuring, just chopping it. That's going to just sit in the background. And then the last background layer is just a bit of paper. This is from an old book that I've had, a calligraphy book, which is falling apart, and I just thought it was such lovely writing on it. Should be for a calligraphy book. So that starts to seal down all those layers. And then a nice little bit of Christmas ribbon. You can use anything, but whichever ribbon you decide to use. For me, if I use a red ribbon, I'll use a contrasting red star at the top of my tree when I'm finished. I think the tape runner is finished. Tape runners all seem to finish at the same time. That happens in class. About 2 or 3 people all of a sudden say, oh, the tape runner's finished. Oh, you can add a bit of glue as well. But tape runner's pretty quick. It holds it fairly well. And then I usually put that, I've cut this just so it's slightly short of either end. You get any loose bits, you can trim them off. Once it's glued down, shouldn't fray anymore. And then the next part is to do the tree shape. So to do the tree, I've just taken a piece of green paper, but I wanted it white on the background because then again you get that nice tall look. And what I do is I draw around that with a pencil just to give me a rough guide. And then I just tear along those edges. You can use a ruler if you want to. But I quite like this paper's really, it's quite thin, so it's really easy to tear. If it's thicker and a tougher paper, I can, quite often I'll use a ruler to just give me a bit more control. Now I've got a few little marks on there from the pencil, so I'll just take those off. So that will pretty much be covered anyway when I start adding gems and things. So that's the first part of the tree. And the next part is to do the little pot. So this bit here. And the way that I do that is I just draw a little pot shape. And actually cut that out, because if you tear this paper, it's a sort of coated metallic paper, it takes off the whole of the top. And so I can see actually that I've got a bit missing from there already, so I'm just doing a very rough shape. And then to tie that in with the rough edges of the tree, I'll just scrape along there with my scissors as well. Quick and easy. And now I want to work out the placement. I mean, at this stage, if you think the tree's a bit top heavy, trim it down. Okay, now I'm going to just pop a bit of cosmic shimmer down there. Stick that down. Put the base down. You can slide it under if you want to. Doesn't have to be central, it's just a bit of fun. And then I usually put dots on, add a few gems. Doesn't take too long really. Please feel free to hustle through this bit. Don't want to watch me putting gems on. These little tools do speed up the process. This will be done in about 30 seconds. Double load. Nice. That's fun. And then I've got these foam squares. I've had these for, oh, I don't know how long. But they were just the right size. And they are sticky backed, but I wouldn't trust that. So again, I would just pop a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer glue on the back. And stick that on the top. If you want to add a bit of contrasting colour, I've got this little Stickles in sea glass. I'll add some of this. The trick with this stuff is to go in from the top. Have it almost vertical. So you end up with quite nice shaped little blobs. And to finish off, if you want to, you can just add a little Christmas sentiment, or you can just leave it as it is. So you can add Merry Christmas on the tree itself, or pop it along the bottom and just highlight it either with some ink or on a piece of red card. Other than that, there it is, finished. How long did that take? Minutes. Thank you for watching. Speak to you soon. Bye.